Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the major manufacturing part number HIT-66-200. This is a lock mortiser, is what it is. Major has a modular system of pieces of equipment that are their HIT, their hardware installation tool series of items that you can use. You can buy this part and even this part and put it all together and do part of a job or two parts of a job or the entire job. And what I mean by that is with their HIT 200, their HIT 66-200, you get the ability to create the rough pocket in the edge of the door. And there are actually four primary components. The HIT 66-200 will allow you to get that, that rough 6.5 inch or whatever the height of the pocket you require, just the pocket in the edge of the door. Okay. If you're doing a wood door, this is where you're going to use this item. It goes along with, of course, the HIT 66, which is the set of two clamps that go onto the door, and the mortise pocket aligner. The third component would be the templates that you would screw to the face of the HIT 66 clamp system so you can prep all your function holes. The fourth component would be their edge clamp system that will allow you to prep your 8" by 1.25" plate, is what it would be. 7/30 seconds deep. Don't quote me on that. It's about that. And then the final thing that you would need would be a corner chisel. You'd be able to do an entire mortise pocket, from creating the pocket, doing the faceplate, doing the function holes, with all of these tools from Major. And the HIT 66-200 is one of those components, and I'll show it to you now. So the business end of this is literally right here. These two steel rods. Well, they're not steel, they're probably stainless. Maybe not stainless. They're extremely non-magnetic. Oh, it's marginally magnetic. It tells me that they're stainless. Probably going to be bearings inside of here, or maybe there's not. Just bushings, I would say, just bronze bushings that will allow this to slide. Okay. So the basic concept, what I'm showing you here, is an item that's going to ultimately get attached to the clamp system, which is attached to the door. Your bit will go inside of here. You're going to attach your drill, your 1/2 inch in Milwaukee drill, to this. Once your drill bit is attached, and you're going to be able to drill, move it up, drill, move it up, move it up, move it up, move it up, so you have all of that drilled, and then you can clear out the pocket in this sort of action. That's what you can do. I believe that is not, yeah, you can definitely do that. So there's a lot to this that's not readily apparent. First of all, the stops. This is going to govern how tall of a pocket that you're making. It's also going to work with the other piece that's included, which is your alignment tool, which will mount to your template, the face of your templates, which aren't included. I don't have any loose here, but the templates will mount to the HIT 66 clamp. Let me get the clamp. I have one of the HIT 66s pulled out. When you buy a HIT 66, you'll get two of these. You get the mortise alignment tool. Well, this system is going to mount to your clamp. Okay, now you're starting to get the picture. Your two templates will mount here and here, and there will be a clamp top and bottom. Okay, this is going to attach to one of your templates and will allow you to, all you have to do when you have the entire apparatus, and we're going to look at it in the installation instructions, is top of the door to the center of your 86 edge, whatever, if it's Steelcraft 43 15/16 for a 7/0, right? You're going to strike that horizontal line very lightly across the entire width of the door. You're going to align that with the scribed line here, okay? And all you got to do is take what will end up being every bit of 18 pounds would be my guess, and get all of that then clamped to the door, adjust it based on the line that you scribed on the, not scribed, but a small trace line on the edge of the door for your center line. Line it up with this, which is attached to your template, and you're as good as off to the races. Once you've got that all attached, you're going to be able to make the rough pocket. You're going to be able to drill all your function holes. You're going to be able to take all of that off and then put on another clamp system that will allow you to then do the quick route for the faceplate, the armor front, and the mortise case itself, and then square out the corners and you're done. This entire, all of these steps will take you just several minutes, okay, and is really a brilliant way to go about accurately prepping doors for everything involved. So if you're using other tools, you might just be making the mortise pocket. You might be putting the template on and creating your 8 by 1.25 inch. Well, now you got to do all the function holes. Tape measure, measuring everything. You know, this system from Major, while it's not inexpensive to buy all of the parts I've just described, is really elegant when it comes to doing a complete job. It does everything except square the corners, these tools that I've just mentioned. So the HIT 66 clamp system, I have it here just as a prop, basically. Now, you've got your mortise tool. You've got your aligner, which I'll show you in the installation instructions. You've got the business end right here. You've got your stop collar. So the stop collar will come off. You're going to get bolts and 2 Allen wrenches. The Allen wrenches will allow you to adjust your tool. Remove your cutter as well. So that stop collar will come off. If you've got a 1/2 inch Milwaukee, that's going to be, you know exactly what to do with that. Or pick the tool of your choice. I happen to have a Milwaukee. Okay, there's your cutter. Obviously, this is going to go like this. Your stop collar is going to come down like this. Ouch. Okay, you're going to mark off how deep your prep needs to be based on just measuring here, tightening your stop collar so that you know how far you're going in and out. Okay? Really easy, simple, and straightforward. After that, the only thing, again, that will be included will be the Allen wrenches, as we've just looked at. I'll tighten that so it doesn't get lost on us. And then the bolts that you're going to need, and an Allen wrench for the smaller bolts to get everything bolted together, especially down to your HIT 66. Okay, so that's everything that's in the box. Now let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at how you put all of it together vis-a-vis the installation instructions. If you are enjoying this video, please click thumbs up or like, and also please consider subscribing to our channel. Let's move on to the rest of the video. Okay, here's the item that we are looking at. Let's take a look at the images that I have uploaded here for the item. The apparatus, the bit, the aligner, the Allen wrenches, instructions, and screws. Your 2 limiters for the height and location of where you're prepping the lock pocket. What makes this system nice is that not every lock that you can do is going to require the same height. If you're doing a mortise deadbolt, it's going to require a much smaller preparation. You're going to have to do the locating and measuring and aligning yourself, but the tool will allow you to get like a Schlage L400 series lock installed. The underside of it showing the bronze bushing that the bit flies through. Your stop. This is where it mounts to the HIT 66. Your aligner. That's the one side of it that you'll see from the opposite the door face. Your bit and your stop collar. That is a 1-inch diameter bit. You'll be able to cut going in. You'll be able to cut in an x-axis and a y-axis as well, or I suppose maybe be better to say a z-axis and a y-axis. Just showing you the shank area and from the end, and then the Allen wrenches for your tool assembly to the to the rest of everything else that you're going to have. Now there is information linked to down below here. Lock Mortiser can quickly mortise a pocket for a mortise lock. Yes, this tool is going to require the HIT 66 clamp system sold separately and can be used with most HIT 66 series of templates. The Schlage, for instance, would be the part number HIT-66-282 would be the tool for the Schlage system. Now, since I have this shown here, your aligner is going to attach right in this area where this guide is. You'll later remove the aligner from the template and install this aligner to get it attached to the door, but we'll go over that more in a moment. Includes a 1-inch carbide tip mortise bit, mortise guide plate for alignment and stop collars. Once the unit is clamped to the door, it is a simple matter to set the height and depth stops. A series of holes can be drilled, then the webs between the holes can be wasted away, forming the pocket. You will require the HIT 66 clamp and a 1/2-inch drill motor. What they're saying is you have to have a 1/2-inch chuck capacity. Okay. Factory image showing the HIT 66. None of this is included, but that's where you'll attach it there.
Hello.
Ooh. Don't let them tell you they're not listening. Okay, let's jump into the installation instructions. Okay.
Sorry, I couldn't quite hear you. Could you please repeat what you said?
Please ignore. Okay, so common with major manufacturing installation templates is that there are lots of pages, a lot of paper. There's 8 pages in this installation instruction, but don't let that make you believe that this is too complex. It's not. There's 8 pages because of how large the font is and how detailed they make the installation instructions seem by using really big photographs. So it's a really great set of installation instructions. One time through, and you can almost always have a complete grasp on the tool. Instructions for the HIT 66-200 Lock Mortiser. Page 2 is always going to be the declaration about safety, eye protection, ear protection, and at least as importantly, lung protection. Wear a mask. So what they're showing here is attaching the HIT 66-200 to your HIT 66. The HIT 66 I do not recall. I believe it includes this this cushion grip T-handle Allen wrench. I'm quite sure that it does. Either this does, it does. The templates don't, but the T-handle that you need will. But you know, this is going to include the Allen wrench that you'll need anyway for putting the screws in. You'll actually have 2 tools if you buy both. Attach it with the socket screws included. The mortiser is held to the clamp 66 system with 2 screws on the top and 2 on the bottom. Leave all screws loose at this time. You get the countersunk screws into their hole, but don't tighten them. The HIT 66 clamps are shown are not part of the 200 mortiser. You have to buy that separately. Once they're all relatively in place, then tighten all of them as they're showing here. Slide the mortise bit into the unit and slide the stop collar on the end of the shaft. Now automatically we're at page 4. We're halfway through. Okay. You'll then go about attaching your templates, assuming you're doing function holes. Maybe you're not. If you're not doing function holes, you're just doing pockets, your client will do the function holes themselves, then you don't have to do any of this. But assuming that you're doing function holes, with both clamps opened equally, meaning you need to have the throat size on both clamps equal because you're going to be clamping a rigid piece of aluminum to both of them. You can't have one, smaller than the other. With both clamps opened equally, install both inside and outside plates to the hit 66. Do not tighten the 1032 screws at this time. Once all the screws are loosely installed, then tighten everything. Now, this is the part where it starts to get really genius. From the top of the door to the center line of your mortise pocket, put a very light line, pencil line only, on the edge of your door. The next part is to attach the template and the alignment guide together. The alignment guide has to go on just like they're showing here. Okay? Screws will be included in everything that you get for that. Now that's attached. Now, something's just happened. With this attached, it's telling you based on this scribe line and this scribe line where to set your stop collars, here and here, to give you the proper height of the pocket. That's number one. Number two is on the other side of this, which we'll get to in a moment. There are two clamps on the rod guides, this one and this one. Loosen them, reposition them, so that the top clamp, the bottom of it is to the top of the line. And then you're going to take the other stop collar, that the top of it is to the bottom of that line. When aligned to the top and bottom scribe lines on the guide plate, they will limit the travel. They are set up for a standard 6.5-inch mortise. Speaking of that, Schlage does not have a 6.5-inch mortise. What they do have, and this is a Schlage pocket template, it's really 6 5/8 is really what it is. You shouldn't really have any trouble at 6.5. There's enough play there. However, I would be making it what the manufacturer's template says. You might try it, and if it doesn't work, you can move each stop clamp up a 1/16 and down a 1/16 to get that extra 1/8 of an inch. The bottom of the top clamp should be on the top line. The top of the bottom clamp should be on the bottom line. Tighten the screws when adjusted. To change the size of the mortise, use the scribe lines as a guide and adjust accordingly. To change the size of the mortise by 1/8, move each clamp a 1/16 in each desired direction. So you'll just measure from the bottom of your clamp to the line, if you need, and you'll just move it by that dimension. 1/8 of an inch, a 1/16 of an inch, 1.25 inches, whatever you're doing. You'll do that at the top, you'll do that at the bottom. Now you have limits set on the pocket that you're going to prep. You have used the scribe line from the alignment tool for that. Now the alignment tool, as I said, has another purpose. You've already scribed your line, top of the door to the center line. When you look at the other side of this plate, you're going to see this line. That's your center line. Now once you take the entire tool and get it all attached to the door, centering it here, you are now literally ready to go. Using a pencil, establish the center line of the mortise pocket as shown at left. Put the mortise unit on the door, and a line is shown on the right. Tighten the clamp knobs, top and bottom, altering location. Do a little at the top, little at the bottom, little at the top, little at the bottom, until you're snug, because you've got these giant rigid aluminum plates that aren't meant to bend, nor are the screws. Now, touch the bit to the edge of the door. Push it all the way to the edge of the door. If you need a template, if you need a pocket that is, and they're not telling me how deep the pocket needs to be made here. So the Schlage body is 4 7/16. I'd be making the prep 1/8 of an inch bigger, something in that range. 4.5 inch, sure, 4 9/16, absolutely. There are times when we've done projects where every 1/16 of an inch mattered, whether it was stopping from breaching into a cutout in the door or making sure that we were the proper distance away from say a light cutout when you're doing a fire rated door. So measuring that accurately and not drilling more than necessary is always the right idea. So you're going to touch the bit to the door. You're going to then mark off what you need, say 4 9/16. Position your stop collar as they're showing here and tighten it. It's pretty easy. Attach the drill. Obviously, don't let the drill hang on any of this. You're going to have to support the weight of the drill. Then what they want you to do is start at the bottom and just start drilling. Push it in, pull it out. Push it in, pull it out. This is important. Back out the bit to clear the chips. Do not attempt to drill the hole to depth all at once. You've got to go in, come out, go in, come out, go in, come out. Evacuate all of that. Now, what you, in this picture right here, something major doesn't get into, and here, there is a company called Festool, who I don't do much in the way of selling Festool, because it's not really what we do. But getting a remodeler's dust extractor, some sort of way to get your shop vac, okay, as close to the source as possible would really be advantageous. To capture all of that mess that you're creating, have a second person stand there and catch it all. Two things. It's going to keep it off the floor from you having to sweep it up. And believe me, if you're doing 10 doors, or, you know, if you're doing a run of 28 doors, I've done runs of lots of doors. After a few doors, you're walking, it's like you're in a stable or in a manger. You're walking on inches of wood sawdust. Capturing it keeps it from the floor, but more importantly, it keeps it out of your lungs as best as possible. So that's my personal suggestion. Drill all your holes in, out, in, out, in, out, all the way up. Do not do this sort of situation because you're not ready to do that. Once you have all the holes drilled, you can then operate in that sort of up and down fashion. Once the webs have been drilled out, the cutter can be moved in and out and up and down to clean the pocket, as they're showing here. Okay. When the pocket has been completed, you can drill your function holes. Drilling function holes is a very different video. The rest of the steps here talk about that. If you're looking for that, you know, this is a HIT 66-282. That is the Schlage template. There's a video, me discussing that, how to go about doing that. You've got all your function holes drilled. Function holes drilled. At that point, loosen, 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 loosen. Pull it off the door. And there's your completed prep. Then the last suggestion that they have, that mark that you made, you're going to use their edge template system for knocking out that mortise, that 8" by 1.25". Don't quote me on the depth of the pocket. I think it's 730 seconds. Yeah, it is 730 seconds. Okay. So then you'll use this tool. That will have to get clamped on, but you have your centering. And we'll go over this. There's a video for this. I'll show you this tool when we get to the catalog. And that's all there is to it. It's literally that simple and straightforward. Now, there's also a link below this video to the product brochure. Let's dive into that. That's going to show you the HIT 66 clamp system. Okay. They also have a 110 if you're doing cylindrical lock preps on this, 2 3/8 and 2 3/4. So if you already own the HIT 66, you can do cylindrical locks as well, meaning you don't have to also buy the HIT 44, which is only for doing cylindrical locks. It's a great tool, but if you already have the investment in the HIT 66, there's no reason to buy the HIT 44 unless you want to, but I would stick with the HIT 66. The 200, the replacement cutter, 1 inch, 1/16 diameter, should your lock prep require it. Then what they go through here is a series of different templates that you can bolt to the HIT 66. Okay, all of these items. That Schlage AD requires a funny angle hole like this, and that's what this apparatus here is for. Okay, now let's take a look at the link here below this video to the manufacturer's page. That page will allow you to review not only all of the major products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. Let's take a quick tour through that. So this is everything Major. Major is a company that makes the HIT hardware installation tool series of modular components. Many of them are listed or shown right here. Their catalog starts with a variety of different security hardware. Stuff that you're going to see locksmiths use for their client base. People who are security conscious will use these as well. Sliding padlock hasps are here. The ability to lock someone out from gaining access to a lock. You might use it on a job site. Key traps, if you need to be able to have control over what key is in whose possession and when you can never have possession of both keys. Latch guards, these might be discontinued. Some of them are. Octopod, it's kind of like a vertical police lock where you can, via your mortise cylinder, lock and unlock a sliding door, a swinging door. I'm sure you could adapt it to other applications. And other security hardware, which I'll just scroll through this stuff. I would encourage you to review it. Locksmithing tools are here as well. Okay. Now, one thing I'll talk about for a moment, they're cylinder extension kits. If you have a need for odd length cylinders, obviously long cylinders, they make an extension kit that you can take a standard mortise cylinder, like you've got an 1 1/4 mortise cylinder, well, you need a 2 1/4 inch mortise cylinder and you need it tomorrow. Well, by using their 1 inch extender, their fixture kit, should you elect to use that, I would suggest it, along with their drive cam, you'll be able to make your custom length cylinder. I've done this several times, and I've made very unusual length cylinders practically overnight for clients. Okay, now we're in the hardware installation tool area, and the HIT 45 is the one that I really wanted to show you that complements the mortise lock prep that you would do. As we scroll through here, you might say, wait, stop, let's talk about that. A lot of this is pretty common material. But we're talking about the HIT 66 series. And here is a flush bolt guide, very handy for drilling flush bolt preps in wood doors. I can't see freehanding that. Now our HIT 45, I'm just going to have to search it. Ooh, it's in here a lot. There it is. There it is. So this is what will allow you to attach this all to the edge of your door in order to come up with your pocket prep. As you can see, this is a different system as well, where they're going to have items in the, I have a HIT, it might be a 555 kit here, I forget the part number, but it will give you the ability to do a lot of this work, especially your edge prep. You'll clamp all that onto the door and then be able to do your 86, 8 inch by 1 1/4 is what I'm driving at. So lots of things. If you're doing aluminum, steel, wood, fiberglass, brass, bronze, even stainless, if you've got the right cutting tools, you'll really be able to make hay over this. And you've got your HIT 45 series templates that we've been discussing. Different videos, separate videos, the whole 9 yards. Back into our HIT 66 section, we'll scroll quickly through that. You've got the ability to do aluminum frames for electric strikes. Just countless good stuff. Okay. Kits are here as well. You get the picture. Let's wrap up this video on camera. Okay, in conclusion, really nice quality piece of equipment here. Major's not the only company who makes lock installation tools. They do happen to make a pretty comprehensive offering, a very high quality offering, so you might consider Major for that reason alone. Also, what you may not initially you think of as a reason to use them is their technical support is excellent. These I've called the factory a number of times. I generally speak to one person. I've spoken to someone else. They have a complete and total grasp over what the tool needs to do. And if you have any question at all, any sort of nuanced question, they understand the question and how to answer it, because these are people like myself, certainly have total experience when it comes to prepping doors in holes into doors, so they therefore understand the perspective of the installer, the problems, the challenges, the needs of the installer. So they've built these tools to accommodate all those requirements, and they do a great job at it. If you have any questions on the HIT 66-200 lock pocket mortiser or any other major manufacturing product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you. Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.